You'll notice that your spouse just got her eyebrows done. Or she changed her hair color. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is a channel for men who want to take their lives to the next level. On each week's video, I'll share tips on how to, personal growth and success, entrepreneurship, and a different perspective on navigating life and relationships. I invite you to subscribe to this channel for more great content on a weekly basis. Now today, I'm going to share 8 tips on how to be more romantic. But before we get into it, I've got a question for you. What are some things that you do to be more romantic with your spouse or partner? Please answer the question in the comments below. Okay. If you're watching this video, I commend you up front, because I think if you're watching this video, it means your mind is in the right place. And I believe that the mind is over half the battle. So great job. Now let's be honest, we could all be more romantic. Speaking for myself, I can remember times when I was more romantic and other times when I didn't think about being romantic for an extended period of time. But I've noticed in the recent past that I've been more consistent in being romantic with my spouse. I'm going to share the things that have been working for me in helping me to be more romantic on a consistent basis. The first tip to being more romantic is to resolve stress. Just get rid of it. When you get rid of your stress, you'll be less cranky and more emotionally and psychologically available to be more romantic consistently. So take time to decompress, whether that means getting a regular massage or exercising, spending more time outdoors. Getting rid of stress will go a long way in allowing you to be more romantic and think about other things in general. Number 2, find new things to do together. When you were first dating or when you first got with your spouse or partner, a lot of what made things exciting and interesting was that you were doing new things together. Some of the things you did together may not have been new things for you. For instance, you may have been bike riding before, but this was the first time you went bike riding with your spouse or with your girlfriend. That made the experience unique and different. In fact, there were probably things that you had never done before that you just went out on a whim and did with your partner at the time. Doing new things in general brightens our day, makes us happier, keeps things more interesting, and generally people like to experience new things and have fun doing it. So don't stop doing that now that you're together. So look for new things that you can do together with your spouse. That may mean signing up for a class. It could also be something as simple as going to a new park every couple weeks. Trying new restaurants is another great idea. You have to eat. Why not make it a fun experience to try different things together? Try Indian. Try Italian, try Vietnamese, Cuban, Haitian, Jamaican. Trying new things will add a lot of spice, interest, and romance to the relationship because you're just in a different state of mind when you're experiencing new things together. It's a sort of euphoria and high that just makes it more conducive for the two of you to become more romantic together. Okay, the third tip to being more romantic is to leave margin for error. Now, what do I mean by that? Give your spouse a margin for error. Make room for them to make mistakes. This may sound weird to you, but we do this all the time in life. When we put together a project at work, we give ourselves a buffer, we give ourselves a window. When we have an assignment that's due, we start that assignment ahead of time just in case things don't go according to plan. You can do the same thing for your spouse or partner. When you give your partner margin for error, that reduces a lot of the conflict and tension in the relationship. When you get rid of conflict and tension, that creates an environment more conducive to romance. I'll give you another example. I once had a car that I loved. It was my first BMW. It was 2 doors, had a leather interior, and I got it for a steal. Now this car was manual transmission, and during the time that I had this car, it would sometimes shut off unexpectedly. Because I knew the car so well, I knew almost exactly when the car would shut off. And so I would expect and anticipate the shut off so that way I can hit the clutch, to restart the car when necessary. Do the same thing for your spouse. Build in grace to allow for their imperfections. I'm sure you would love the same in return. The fourth tip for how to be more romantic is to take yourself less seriously. Now this goes a really long way in being more romantic. This means letting loose, going with the flow. When you take yourself less seriously, you're less likely to get upset at your spouse or partner or at situations. You'll generally be in a happier mood. Being in a better mood allows you to enjoy your time with your spouse or partner more. And when you're generally enjoying your time together, you can be more romantic, or you even have the thoughts come to your mind. Tip number 5 is similar to tip number 4. Along with not taking yourself too seriously, don't take life too seriously. Life is important, but it doesn't have to be serious. When you don't take life too seriously, it allows you to live in the moment. Those are the times when you'll stop and smell the roses. When you let loose a little bit and start to enjoy life more, you'll see things for what they really are. Big things don't seem so big anymore. You'll be able to notice the little things easier. Maybe you'll notice that your spouse just got her eyebrows done. Or she changed her hair color. That takes us to tip number 6 for how to be more romantic. Tip number 6 for how to be more romantic is to make an intentional effort to focus on the positive. Whatever we focus on grows, and whatever we give our attention to takes up the most space in our minds and in our lives. So if you make the intentional effort to focus on the positives in your spouse, those positive things will take up space in your mind and leave less room for the negative thoughts. Of course, if you focus on the negative things, those are the things that will take the most importance in your mind, and they're probably the things you're going to think about the most. But it takes intentionality. So here's an exercise for you. I want you to list 3 things that you really like about your spouse or partner. Try to make it that it's not things that they do necessarily, but things about them as a person or as an individual. Focus on those 3 things intentionally. Maybe read them once a day or once a week. But remind yourself of those things. In fact, tell your spouse that you appreciate or love those things about them. Tip number 7 for how to be more romantic. Be thoughtful. What does it mean to be thoughtful? Being thoughtful means doing things that shows that you're thinking about the other person. This may mean bringing them thoughtful gifts, and it doesn't necessarily mean spending a lot of money. Find out what your spouse likes or what your spouse would appreciate. Does your spouse enjoy chocolates or candies? Does she have a favorite candy? Does she have favorite flowers? Don't be afraid to ask, what is your favorite flower? What is your favorite movie? What is your favorite food? Surprise them with that food. Surprise them with those flowers. It shows that you're being thoughtful. When given the opportunity, think about your partner and do something thoughtful for them. That may mean scheduling a day at the nail salon, filling up their tank for them. Every person is so different, so you'll never run out of ideas of how to be thoughtful to your spouse or partner, because there's so many aspects and facets to their lives and to their personalities. The last tip is tip number 8. For how to be more romantic. And this is somewhat similar to tip number 7. You want to let your spouse or partner know that they're on your mind. So aside from doing thoughtful things, sometimes it's as simple as letting them know that you're thinking about them. One of the easiest ways to let your spouse or partner know that they're on your mind is to call them. So here's a challenge. I want you to take 5 minutes and give your partner or spouse a call. You can do it right now. Just pause the video and give them a call. Now, when you call them, I want you to ask them either how they're doing or how their day is going. So if you're at work, take a bathroom break and just call them. Call them randomly when they don't expect it. So when they answer the phone, I want you to say, I just wanted to see how you're doing or how your day was going. And I want you to listen to what they say. Respond as appropriate and then thank them for sharing and say bye. You'll be surprised to see the effect, the result of that. And they're likely to talk to you about it. Okay, maybe you're not at work and you're actually in the house together. That's fine. Call them at home. Go to another room and call their phone. If they're not picking up, tell them, pick up the phone. I'm calling you. And just ask them how they're doing. Sometimes a little bit of silliness will go a long way. Most people are looking for an opportunity not to be so serious and just to be a little bit more laid back and relaxed. Okay, so that's it for 8 tips on how to be more romantic. I hope this helped you. If any of these ideas were interesting to you or made you think of other ideas, please mention it in the comment below. Tell me which idea you like the most, and if you try any of these tips, I'd love to hear about it. Please share in the comments below or send me a message so I can hear about your success. Alright, that's all I've got. Please don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe to the channel for more great content like this. I'll see you next time.